Hello friends and enemies, welcome to Happy for Now, or welcome back. It's me Isabel here with a fun video today. I have like a rec video of sorts. I mean, it is a rec video. So I've seen Ashley over at Bookish do these, and this is 100% my inspiration for it, and I've seen other people do it. I always love when Ashley does this because she spotlights books that sometimes I'm like, oh my god, I have that on my TBR, why haven't I read it yet? It has like no reviews. So the first one of these that we're going to do today is under 250 reviews on Goodreads or ratings. So I kind of just gathered up some books that I've really enjoyed. I don't talk about a ton, or I haven't talked about in a while on my channel, and I'm going to recommend them to you here and tell you why I like them. We're going to go in order from the least amount of ratings to the most. And then I can always do this again, and we could like do the range. We can go 250 to 500 or something. I don't know. Like we can play with this. There was a lot. Like I had to narrow it down some, and I was like, okay, we're gonna go under 250 because I was honestly surprised at how few of these books had a lot of ratings on it. Like I really did think some of these had more ratings than they did, but you know, that's okay. I also love this because, again, I think it's a fun way to find authors that you might miss. They're not the ones that are going to be on your Goodreads page all the time if you're following a lot of people. These are ones that you just may have missed when they came around BookTube for a hot minute. Maybe only a couple of us read them. Who knows? But let's dive right in. I'm very excited. So first we have The Devil's Bargain by Rhiannon Fox. This author is also Georgina Kirsten. They're open about their pen name, so I feel okay saying that. This is a really fun, quirky, like monster book. Basically, our main character buys a spell book at a like auction and then summons a demon, and they have hot sex, and the tail does stuff, and it's just really fun, smutty time. It's just like a really good, quick novella. This has 59 ratings on Goodreads as of when I looked at it last. So like not a lot, and honestly it's really fun and goofy, like goofy in a good way. Like it's the kind of monster book that you're like, this is a good time and I love this. So I can't recommend it enough personally if you want to try a monster book that's and also just a fun time and goofy. This is great. I seriously had such a blast reading it. I think it's quirky, it's a different setup. I've not read a ton where they I've read 2 where they summon a demon of sorts, so I always enjoy that element. Next we have I Want to Give You Your Flowers by M.L. Sexton. I read this last year in June during the Queer Lit Readathon and the Queer Romance Readathon we did. This was her debut when I read it. This is part of a series called Hot Stepmom Summer, and book 1 is, they're all sapphic obviously, but, well, maybe not obviously, but they're all sapphic in this author's series. This one is a single mom whose partner that she had a kid with is deployed. I do want to give a quick content note for death of the child's parent happening, but she ends up hooking up with her trainer, and it's really hot, really spicy. These, again, another fun, quick, really spicy read. You're gonna have a good time. You're gonna enjoy it. It's her rediscovering herself and like what it is to be attracted to a woman now and all these things, and I really enjoyed this. Anyways, I've read a total of 2 from M.L. Sexton so far, and I want to go back. The second one I read is a Second Chance at Marriage one that I also really enjoyed. I Want to Give You Your Flowers only has 64 ratings on Goodreads. Then we have Starfucker by Callie Decker. This is like, okay, so we all know I love fic, and I love books that were fic that become like published books, but this for me was perfect because, okay, there's one thing I don't love in fic, and that's real people fic. I can't do it. It makes me really uncomfortable. I just am not a fan. And I know some people love it, and that's fine. I am not going to yuck your yum in any capacity. It's just not for me. But for me, this book, Starfucker, read like real people fic without the real person, if that makes sense. Element, squicking me out. I hope that makes a lot of sense to somebody. I feel like my fic girls get what I'm saying here. This was another super fun, steamy novella. She works on a movie set. She was the writer for the book that the movie was adapted from. The animals are chasing each other. I apologize for any noise in the background. We are apparently playing. So she was a writer on set, and then at the after party, they go up to the hotel room and end up hooking up, and it is just nonstop boning from there and delightfulness. I absolutely loved this. She's been attracted to him the whole time. He gives very like your fave male celebrity vibes, if you ask me, when you're reading this. So you can kind of self-insert anyone. And yeah, she's the writer, and they just keep hooking up and they play with kink, and the kink exploration, this is delightful and fan-freaking-tastic. I do need to read the other books in this series, but I honestly just like really liked this one so freaking much that I could probably reread it. Like, that's how much I enjoyed it. It's a book that I could see myself actually rereading, and I don't feel that way about a lot of things. But this is just fun, and again, a steamy, spicy time. Very sexy, fun kink exploration. There might be pegging in this, but I can't remember. I will correct myself down here. I'm going to check. There might be pegging. But yeah, if you haven't read this, oh my god. Oh, and this only has 107 ratings on Goodreads. Next, we have Summoning Up Love by Cynthia Williams. If you, one, haven't read her yet, you need to get on that immediately because these are so freaking fun. I've read a couple different series by her now in books, and I've enjoyed them all. But this one, in particular for me, as somebody who has lived in like Savannah, Georgia area and in the Carolinas, was just delightful because it's set in the Low Country, which is out that way. And it follows a girl who goes home and ends up moving to her grandma's house that is haunted, and she calls up the ghost hunter, these brothers that are like ghost hunters, and you know, she's very skeptical of it all, and they're like burgeoning romance, her and one of the brothers, and the next books follow the other brothers, and it was so fun. So silly. It left me craving Waffle House. Like, we went to Waffle House the night I finished that book because I had to have Waffle House. I was like, I don't care what else we eat right now, but like we have to go to Waffle House. And there's a post on my Instagram of the book and a waffles at Waffle House because I literally was like, I can't exist until I have waffles anymore. Like, I have to have them. But absolutely delightful little read. It felt like it captured that region really well. And I just think it was such a fun book. And again, one of those ones, it's a Harlequin, so I know some people are always hesitant to pick up Harlequins sometimes, and I really think you're missing out on some really good writing if you're not picking up some of these Harlequins, because they're just, so many of them are a blast. Just a blast. Alright, next we have another Harlequin, which is Pregnesia by Carla Cassidy. This is an old one. If you've been on my channel for a while, you've heard about this book. I'm obsessed with this book. It is, my friend Nicole over who picked this book, she sent me a copy. She found it and sent me a copy because I couldn't get a copy of it anywhere. This is one of those books that if you haven't read it yet, I highly recommend picking it up because it is top tier banana pants that you want from a Harlequin. So she's pregnant, our heroine, and she wakes up in the back of a car not knowing where she is or what's going on or who she's pregnant from or anything. She remembers nothing. And this guy is like coming to tow the car and finds her there and saves her basically and takes her in, and it's the whole like them figuring out her history, where she came from, who impregnated her, and it turns into this like cult thing that is bananas. It's like one of those things where you're like, this is wild, and it just keeps going. It's that, like, this is top tier banana pants. And if you want a top tier banana pants, even if you're like me and you're not a big fan of pregnancy in books and you've never tried Amnesia, this one was my first Amnesia read, I think, and I was just giggling the whole time. It was so silly and so fun. Again, a lot of things I normally don't like, but this worked really well for me. This has 176 ratings on Goodreads. All right, and then last is an honorable mention, kind of, because I was like, you know, I hear this other book by them talked about a lot, but I don't hear about this book. So I wanted to talk about Janine by Jenica C. Higgins. This is her West Texas Wolves books. It follows a pack of wolves in West Texas, and it's really good, y'all. I need to finish the series, but I've read the first two in the series, and I had a blast. So Janine is someone who was raised in a like more cult-like wolf pack society and is going to be forced to marry a man she doesn't want to marry and has no interest in. So she gets fed up with like the rules, obligations, and leaves and goes to the West Texas pack. And our alpha here in the pack has just like taken over after his dad died, and he's like really unsure of himself in some things, and this follows their like relationship happening, and it also gives us origins on the wolf pack in West Texas that are really helpful and insightful, obviously, like for a series. But this one was an absolute blast. I really loved this, and I see everyone talking about Devon and Chris Plan a Wedding, and I'm reading that like literally as I'm filming this, and I love that book. But like, I love it so far. I'm not done, so I can't say like it's a 5-star for me. But I think like people would be remiss not to go back and read more of her backlist, because she really is writing some really interesting stories here, and I really love her setup for the shifters in this book series. Like, it's different It felt fresh. It felt unique in my opinion from the other ones I have read in my life. And that says a lot because I think it can be really hard to innovate in the shifter space. So that has 216 ratings. So that is it for all of the books I've loved with under 250 ratings on Goodreads. If you want another round of this, let me know in the comments, and let me know if you have a book that you love that's under 250 ratings on Goodreads. Because I think, again, there's so many books out there and there's so many books we don't see because they're not the ones getting thousands of ratings on Goodreads. But, you know, there's some gems out there. So let me know your favorite in the comments. And if you don't want to do that, leave me a ball emoji of your choice. We'll do a ball because I'm literally about to have to go throw a ball for Millie because she is antsy pants. So leave me a ball emoji of your choice. And if you want links to any of these books, those will be down there in that description, as well as links to be my friend anywhere on the internet. And I will talk to y'all in just a few days. Bye.
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away, this is what we waited.